guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Michaela Barnhart and I am going into my third year teaching second grade in South Carolina. Today is going to be day 3 of classroom setup, but this will be the second video you guys see. Alright, so I just got into the school and I thought I would share what I brought in. All of these are from Amazon, but they are just cords to be able to move my computer stuff and all of this to hook up over there at my desk. So I'm not really going to show you guys that because that's not that cool. I did grab from Walmart one of these magnetic curtain rods to hang up on the board to put my calendar flippy thing on. And here is just some binder rings to go with that. I got some more desk pet stuff in the mail. So this has a few desk pets, but it also has a bunch of like the little accessories. I got 2 of those. So that one, and then I think this one is all like sports. Yeah, this is all sports stuff, so I need to put those away. I brought in some more of these. You guys know, if you watched last week's video, sorry it's upside down, that I needed 2 more of these to finish a project I was doing, so I'm gonna actually do that first this morning, I think. And then what else is in here? I think I just grabbed, yeah, the last 2 things are some things I grabbed for the new teacher on our team, just as I'm trying to put her together like a little gift. So I got her some earrings from Hobby Lobby, and then I thought this was super cute, this little Teach like wrist keychain thing. So I'm gonna put this stuff away really quick, tidy this or do this project with my things over here, and then we will get started. But actually, before I do that, let me give you guys an overview of the room where we are starting today. All right, so here I am at my door. This is right when you walk in. This is the books that I was telling you about that I need to work on. If you did not watch last week's video, definitely stop and go watch it because I did a lot of setup already, and that will explain what I'm doing here. But here's a little pan of the room where we are at now and where we are starting day 3 of classroom setup. Still a mess, but we've made a lot of progress. I think my favorite area so far is the library. This is the area that I got set up last week. Nothing fell down, which I was really pleased to see because I was very nervous. So this is kind of what I did here. I have ordered some more of these black book bins that will fill this shelf, but they are not coming in until later this week. And then I also set this area up last week. Not necessarily set it up, but I built the furniture and put it over here. So I have my little desk area. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, starting today. Alright, so if it'll focus, you guys saw me finish up these right here. These are curriculum boxes from our reading curriculum. And then just now I cleared this whole thing off, as well as a lot of just the stuff that was sitting back here, and I brought it all either to right here in this area of my desk or back here. Majority of this is like curriculum or stuff we use to supplement the curriculum. So I think what I'm gonna do is try and store my curriculum on this bookshelf that I have right here. And if I can get it all to fit, that would be beautiful. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit those boxes that I made for the HMH reading curriculum, just because I don't really have anywhere back here to put them. I could put them up here, I guess, so I might play around with that, or push comes to shove, they can live in a cabinet and I can just pull out the box that I need when we're like in that week. But I think what I'm going to take some time to do right now is just try to organize all of this, get it off of here and organized onto a shelf. Also, some of this I might go through, like this was my binder that or my notebook, sorry you guys couldn't see that, but this was my notebook that I kept information in this past year, and every year I like to get a new notebook. just because that makes it easier for me to keep up with. So I will probably end up taking that home to burn it or shred it or do stuff like that, because it does have student info in it. Also, one of the binders up here, it's that one right there, is my student info binder. So a lot of that stuff needs to come out as well. And same thing, it will be either burned or shredded. So yeah, either way though, I think we're going to tackle putting all of this stuff away, and trying to kind of set this area up over here. I don't know if I want to leave my computer there, or I could put my computer on this desk, but I kind of like the thought of having my computer here and then being able to just have like my desk calendar, my planner, whatever, sitting out on this desk, and having this as like my work area. I don't know. And then I think whenever I get this stuff set up, I'm going to try to clear this off and turn it around and see if I can't make my small group area also be over here. I think I may end up having to push everything kind of like this way some, just because I don't have a lot of room between like the wall in here to be able to fit this. So I don't know, but that's a problem for later. Right now we're going to try to organize everything, and then we will go from there. Okay, I want to pause and kind of show you guys what I did, because I went off camera for a second and took care of a lot of the stuff that had student names on it and things from last year. And I moved just a few things around while I had like the brain power to do it. So from here over is stuff that I need to try to file away. I want to stop using, so right now, let me just explain the problem. Right now I have a filing cabinet in my bathroom. One, I would like to get the filing cabinet out and have it somewhere over here in my area, just because of the type of person I am. I would like to have it out where I can get to it, but it is currently full of stuff from the teacher before me, which is great because we actually use a lot of the stuff that's in there, but not all of it. So I really wanted to take some time this summer and go through everything in the filing cabinet that's in there and be able to organize it, but also add my own stuff. So what I did last year was I just kept everything in binders because there was no room in the filing cabinet, and I also did not have the mental capacity last year when I come back from maternity leave to take care of it. So yeah, I just used binders for everything, or I used like a bunch of these. That's why you see several of these around my room, because I just needed somewhere to dump things, and it ended up being a hot mess express, and I have no clue. Like you see, there's even more binders right there. There's just stuff everywhere, and I would really like to be able to consolidate all of my files into a filing cabinet, or at least in a better system of some sort. But what I did was I took everything that was over here off and I moved it over here. So from here down is everything that I need to kind of file. And if I find more stuff, like those binders for instance, I'll bring and stack them up. All of these binders are completely empty. I can grab them if I need them. These are the two binders that I used. I had this one for student, like just information, like basic parent name, you know, number, address, that kind of stuff. And then I had this one for student data. So the only thing that's in this is the little divider things, but both of those are empty other than that. I kind of got this set up for the most part. That bottom is most of the curriculum. The only curriculum that is left is the stuff that I put into those boxes. And we're also getting a brand new math curriculum this year, which we don't have yet, so I don't know how much space that's going to take up. But you know, there's that. And then I just kind of threw these two shelves up here just so I could get them out of the way and threw some stuff on them. That's probably not where that stuff's going to live, but that's where it's at for now. Same thing for this. I just put them over here to get them off of the other shelf. And yeah, that's where it's at. So that is where we're at right now. I pretty much have this whole section over here cleaned off for the most part. This stuff, like I said, I just need to figure out where I'm going to house it. That is all of the HMH curriculum that I organized by module. That's more of the HMH stuff, but we did not use the Start Right readers last year. That's my recess blanket for when it gets really cold outside. So I just need to put that in a cabinet because it's not going to be used for several months. Both of these are empty, and that is our chalk bin that we take outside when we need chalk. This obviously is just sitting here empty. I need to figure out where I'm going to put that. This is my sound wall stuff, so that's going to go on this wall eventually. Don't know when that will happen. This is completely cleaned off, so I need to just wipe it down and figure out where I'm going to put it, if I'm even going to keep it in here. This stuff up here is just random. So like this was something a church made for all the teachers this year. It's like a little corn thing you can put in the microwave and it heats up, and then you can use it like a heating pad. So yeah, there's that, which was very nice of them, but I have not used it yet. And then I have some extra bandages. I just need to figure out where to keep those. I had a student make this for me this past year, and she brought it in full of candy. Obviously it's empty now because I ate all the candy, but there's that. Then a mug and some of those. I built these little Lego flowers last year, so just random things. That's our old math curriculum that we're not using anymore, so I need to figure out what we're gonna do with it. And then these are all the calendar pieces that I would like to have some way to keep them over here, but I have not figured that out yet. So yeah, that pretty much explains everything that's on this counter. So in the sake of at least getting one thing done, I think what I'm going to do is take everything off of this counter, wipe it down. I don't know actually, because I don't know. I've hit that point again where I'm like, I don't know what to do next because there's so much to do, but I don't know exactly what to do first. So I don't know. I'm probably going to pace around for a little bit, see what inspires me, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I got my little flip thing put together. Super, super cute. Labor of love though, because I did not really think the fact that it might be too heavy for the rod, but apparently it is. So once I got all the pieces like hole punched and on there and on their binding rings and everything, it's too heavy for the magnets on the back of these. So I'm gonna have to either find some stronger magnets I can glue to the back or something else. But either way, at least it's all hole punched and hung up. I did have enough binder rings, which was beautiful. So right now, the only reason it's staying is I put these little, I don't know if you can see, there's a little magnet underneath each thing, just kind of giving it some extra support to stay up there. So I'm gonna leave it right there for now. I'm gonna clean up the binder rings, and I think what I'm gonna do, I've decided I'm gonna put my birthday board up on this year. This thing is magnetic, but I'm gonna tape it just because it's not gonna come up and down. But I think I'm gonna do that just to kind of put something pretty on this, and because I just kind of want to start cleaning this stuff off so that I can move these tables and not worry about messing things up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that next. Okay, I literally just hung all that up and then realized you guys could only see from like here down, so apologize because you guys aren't gonna really be able to see that, but I've hung it up. Don't like it. Can already tell you it's gonna be coming back down because I could not like space it out nicely, given that I can't cover this and then I need it to be done before we get down to the little sucky part. So yeah, and it's also starting to come back off already because I did not realize just how like textured this was. So the other option, other than tape, obviously, it is magnetic, so I could put magnets behind everything, which I kind of like the idea of doing because then I can move it around. But if I did that, one, I don't have magnets today, so I can't do that today. But I still don't know if I would be able to get it laid out correctly. Sorry, you guys couldn't see it again. Just because of how many like different months, like obviously there's 12 months, but how many different shapes each month is. Like, you know, there's two of these long ones that are pencil, so they don't like, it just doesn't space out evenly. So I think just to save my own brain and some time, I'm going to take it down and move it over to this door right here. I feel like that's going to be really busy looking, like right next to that, but I don't really know where else to put it. I don't necessarily want to put it on these doors because I thought about putting some of my like reading posters and things on that door or on these doors. That door I'm going to do the affirmation station on, so I really don't know where else to put the birthday thing. So yeah, I don't know. We'll play around with it and see what we figure out. But for now, I'm probably gonna at least take it down because it is starting to fall. And then, yeah, we'll figure out what we're gonna do with it. Okay, this one was a win. I actually like how this turned out. It's super cute. Now we just hope nothing falls off. And yeah, this is done. So there's our affirmation station. And yeah, I don't know what else I was gonna say. Anyways, I almost have this one cleared off. I left that up there for now just because I still, like I said, have not decided where exactly I want to put it. And I don't want to like try to peel the tape off the back, so I want to be able to take it down and put it wherever it's going to go and be done. So I think what I'm going to do is finish cleaning this one off. Those two things right there go with the birthday stuff, just as like extra little things you can hang up. I think I'm going to move that, and then that table will be cleaned off. I think next what I'm going to do is try to move all of these forward and go ahead and hang up my alphabet above this board, just so I can kind of see what kind of space I'm playing with up here. My last alphabet was really tall. It was like full sheets of paper. It was more like the size of this laminated versus this. So it took up like the whole entire board pretty much. It went all the way from one end to the other for the most part. So I think what I'm going to do is hang that up so I can see how much space I'm going to have on each side, because I can hang posters up here and up here if, you know, I have enough space. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'm trying to decide though, before I do that, do I want to center the alphabet on just the whiteboard section, or do I want to center it on the whole thing? Last year I centered it on the whole thing, but of course it was a lot bigger, so it made more sense to do that because I needed the entire thing to be able to get it up there. But this year I don't necessarily need that, so I could center it just on this board and see. I don't know. Wish there was a way to see what it would look like both ways before I decide, but obviously that's not an option. So we're just gonna try to hang it and see what it looks like. But first we gotta move all these tables so I can even get up there. Okay, alphabet is up. My camera battery died in the middle of that, so I think you guys saw me kind of sitting them up there and trying to see, but obviously I decided to center them on just the whiteboard and ignore this like bulletin board over here. They're not perfectly centered. If you look, it's just a little bit off, but honestly it's pretty close, and who really cares? So this is where we're gonna leave them. I actually really like them. I was super worried that I guess I wasn't expecting them to be so small. Like once they were up there, I was thinking back to last year when my alphabet went all the way down to the end, and all of the other stuff I have to hang up. I was worried it was going to look really busy, but obviously it doesn't. I have like a lot of space left because they're so small. So now I just need to figure out what exactly I want to hang where. This is what I have left. These little things are discussion like starter things. I need to cut the rest of them out, but I think I'm gonna put these down here on the wall because this is where we will come and sit to do like any discussions that we might have. I might just kind of run them along the bottom down here. I don't know, I haven't fully decided, but that's kind of my thought. Obviously number line is going to be up at the tippy top of the ceiling going this way, so that is what it is. So the things that I really need to figure out are parts of speech and punctuation, and then I have my 2D and 3D shapes, as well as just a few other little math type things, and then that's it. Everything will be hung up. Oh, I also have my skip counting numbers. I was gonna say, I thought I had something else. So I do have my skip counting numbers, but yeah, and then obviously Amazing Work, I said last week, is going to go up on these little tack strips. So yeah, there's that. So I think what I'm going to do now, it is like a little after 11:30. I am starting to get hungry, but I would like to try to get one more thing done before I run to lunch. So I think I'm going to try to hang something else. I'm thinking I might do my skip counting numbers on the doors of this. I'm thinking about moving this mirror because the kids can't see it anyways, it's too high. So I'm thinking about doing my skip counting numbers all the way down these doors, and then potentially doing the rest of my math stuff back here as well. Like I could do a door of 2D shapes, a door of 3D shapes, and then yeah, that would be it. So thinking I might do that, and then I can hang my punctuation and parts of speech posters like up here maybe. And that way that will leave that entire wall for just our sound wall. I kind of like that idea, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I think really quickly before I leave, I'm gonna go ahead and take this mirror down, clean the back of these doors off, and then hang up skip counting numbers. Let's do it. Okay, I feel like I made pretty good progress. I got these hung up. I ended up just putting my addition subtraction signs right there. They have the like words to look for. I definitely in hindsight wish I would have sprayed everything with that like matte spray, but I'm probably not gonna take it back down and do it now. So there's that. I also got all of my 3D shapes hung up. Almost done with my 2D shapes, but I ran out of tape. I literally have 2 more to put right there. They're sitting right there on the edge of the bookshelf. So I think I'm going to pause, go grab lunch, probably go grab some more of that tape, come back, finish up that, and then we'll kind of see what's next. And now that I've put these 2 here, I definitely don't think I want to put the birthday door thing, whatever, over here, because I feel like that's just a lot. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out what else to do. I could maybe take these back down and move them to this door and then do like birthday cabinets over here. So I don't know. I don't know what we'll do, but that's a problem for later. Right now it is actually sticking up there. It has not fallen down yet, so right now I'm gonna leave it. But this is all I have left to hang, and then everything will be hung up and off of the tables. I can definitely take some things off of the list now, like my affirmation station, my alphabet. All of those are done. Obviously the birthday display needs to stay because I'm not sure it's gonna stay where it's at right now. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna go grab some more of that tape, grab lunch, quit yabbering, and then we will come back and see what else we feel inspired to do. All right, y'all, so I just come back in from lunch. I found this tape. They did not have double-sided tape like what I wanted, so I got this packing tape that's like max strength, and I'm gonna try to use it and see if it works to hang up these last 2 little pieces here. But yeah, so I got that. I'm gonna try to get that done, and then I really don't know what else I'm gonna do. I'm very discouraged though, because I wore this dress from Halara today, but you can see I got my lunch literally all over it, so there's that. So just please ignore that if you see that in future clips coming up in a second. But anyways, I feel like I've gotten a lot done today. So I forgot that I had this done until I just walked back in, and I got really excited that that's over with already. So I'm gonna try to finish hanging up those things, and then I'm probably gonna toy around with where I wanna put these, and we'll kind of see where we end up from there. Okay, sorry guys, I feel bad because I did not take you along for what I just did, but first thing was I put those 2 little things on there, which I told you guys I was gonna do, and then I wanted to try something, and I wanted to try it off camera just because I didn't think it was gonna work. But I took the little cube thing that was here, I first put it right here to see what it would look like to have as like my student center. If you watched last week's video, then you know what I'm talking about. I wanted a spot where I could have our turn-in bin, where I could have the kids be able to grab like notebook paper, construction paper, extra glue, pencils, all of the things that they just kind of like go for all the time or constantly are asking me for. I wanted a spot where I could be like, go check the student center, and then that's all I have to say. But I didn't really love how it looked right here, but I ended up deciding to try to stand it up, and I think it looks really cute right here. So I just put these 4 little wire baskets. I had 2 of them were actually empty. One of them was housing our clipboards, one was housing whiteboards, which I took them out, and I put all of my stem baggies into there. I definitely have room for more stem bags in all 4 of those, so that's great. And then I also put our chalk for outside just because I thought that was easy, you know, when we grab and take it. And then that little caddy is what we used for lunch. So after I get my roster at the beginning of the year, I cut out all of the kids' names and their lunch number, and I drop them in there, like I laminate them, put them in there, and we keep them all year. I also keep like scissors in there, hand sanitizer, just things that we need when we're at lunch. And then on top, I just taped this little 2nd grade sign onto my mailboxes and stuck those there. So I really like how this looks. I think it's cute. So I'm gonna leave that there, and that kind of cleared a little bit more of this off. There's all my clipboards and whiteboards I took out. So I don't know what I'm gonna do now, but I just thought I would share that I did do that. All right guys, it is now Tuesday morning. It is July 1st, it's around 10:30. We just got up here. I'm gonna loop day 4, which is today, with yesterday, day 3, and just do 1 video again for each week. I kind of liked that last week. So I have Jeremiah with me this morning. He come up here to try to use the cords to move my desk over to where I wanted it. So he's currently trying to figure out how to do that. But I'm gonna show you something I worked on yesterday afternoon, because Uh-oh, this thing fell down. My birthday thing is still up here, but they're slowly falling down. I got this thing out of the bathroom yesterday. It was awful, very heavy, but I emptied it out, so it's now completely empty, and I have a pile here of like empty little hanging file folders, and then I still have all of my stuff up here I need to go through, and I've stacked what I went through like in different places. So there's a stack up there, that's all math stuff. I have a stack for reading, a stack for phonics, and then a little stack I still need to go through. So I think what I'm gonna do this morning is pick all of these hanging file folders up, figure out what I wanna put in each drawer, and go ahead and start putting things back, as well as adding my stuff, because I definitely was able to kind of like tone down what she had left, and I will have plenty of room now. So that's gonna be my first job while Jeremiah does his thing over here, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright y'all, I'm sorry, this video is gonna be all over the place, but I just got back to the school. It's actually about 1 o'clock now. We closed on our land today. Woohoo, we are proud landowners now. We owned 5.5 acres, and it is all paid for and in our names, which is just great. If you have a mortgage or own land, you know what that means. But we're super excited about that. But either way, we closed on that this morning at 12, or a little bit ago at 12. So I just got back from that. We did that and then grabbed some lunch. But anyways, I wanted to show you what I did while Jeremiah was here. I did not film it because I feel kind of odd just filming him working. He doesn't really care, but I'll kind of fill you in on what we did. I think I got a few clips of the morning, but not that many. So let me turn you guys around. I'll show you what we did, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do next. Okay, so I'm kind of standing in the back. I'm gonna give you just a current state of the room. So I've moved a few more things off of here because we were standing up here. As you can see, I have a cord going up the wall that is hooked to the internet plug-in down here, and it's going through the ceiling over to my new desk area. So this is kind of pretty much the same. Nothing's really changed other than things just being shifted. This is what has changed though. So we did get my computer fully set up. It's working, internet works, everything is good over here. I'm still slowly working through files, so that's why that's there, as well as these file folders and things are out. But this is what we did over here. So I just shifted the 10-drawer cart to there so that I could have some more room to walk through here. Obviously that stuff's not gonna stay there. It's just there piled up for now. But this is kind of what I've got for my small group area over here, and so far I like it. Everything else is the same. I still got to get that back into the bathroom, but I'm working on putting the rest of the files in. So I will push it the rest of the way once it's, you know, done and ready to be done. Or done and ready to be put away. But we did get it, Jeremiah put it on the tile, so all I have to do is push it. Now it slides a lot easier on the tile than it does on the carpet. So that is where we're at right now. I'm going to probably just prop you guys up and keep going with files. That's gonna be my big, like, try to get done for the rest of the day, is finish putting stuff in here. So far it's super organized and looking great. But if I can get that done and that put away, then we will tackle something else. I don't know what that will be, but we will see what comes up next. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys what I did because I just changed around some things. You guys actually saw me do this, but I just love this. I'm so glad I thought to move that shelf up because then I could fit like 4 down here, 4, and then 2 on the top. I feel like that looks a lot better. They fit a lot better, and I feel like there's not as much like dead space. And with doing that, I was able to get all of my supply type bins here and all of these like manipulative and math like stuff type bins right here. And then that left, sorry, I need to close these. That actually left this one completely empty, which I'm excited about because I told Jeremiah if I could figure out how to have an extra cabinet this year, I was gonna make myself a cabinet of like snacks, lunch food that I don't have to like, that's not gonna go bad, you know, like rice pouches, ramen noodles, that kind of stuff. I was gonna make like a spot in my room somewhere where I could keep that kind of stuff, kind of like a little self-care area. Because sometimes I do forget my lunch. I also think it'd be cool to have stuff like a toothbrush, that kind of thing, just in case I need it. So I think that's what I'm gonna leave this cabinet open for, unless I figure out something I just have to put in there. But I still have all of this, ignore that, my camera battery's charging. But I still have all of this mess in the floor. My cabinets are looking a little bit better. I took some things out and reorganized, so there's like a far back shot of that. I've been trying to clean out these cubbies, which I've done most of them. I think it's just these 3 right here that still have stuff in them. So I've made good progress. Everything else is pretty much the exact same. I think though what I'm gonna do is put these 3 tables like together right here in the middle. Make like one big table. Go ahead and clean off anything that I know where it's gonna go, and then try to start taking like everything off of here and dumping it on the tables. Everything off my small group table and over there and bringing it over here. Same thing back here. And that way I have everything like in a pile in the middle of the room, and I can just start grabbing and being like, okay, this needs to go here. I think this will go well here. You know what I mean? So I think that's what I'm gonna do next. It is almost 3 o'clock, not quite, 2:40. I don't have to leave until 4, so I still have over an hour left, which is great because I feel like I can get some more things done. But yeah, I feel like I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at in the classroom. So let's go ahead, do that, kind of tidy up and move everything here. There's a couple things I need to run down to the workroom, so I'll go ahead and run those down to get rid of them, and then we will see what we actually end up with in the middle. I'm kind of scared to see it all together, but I think that'll help my brain if I see it all like in one spot and not all separated out all over the classroom. Okay, pretty much everything that I'm working with is right here on these 3 tables. I've cleaned that off except for that basket. That's what I need to run down to the workroom, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then of course my car keys are sitting there. Back there, I just need to pick up that little piece of trash. That's my thing hanging. That is going to stay somewhere on the back counter. I'm not worried about the fridge. It is what it is. I know it goes back there. But other than that, I cleaned this thing completely out except for these 2 drawers, or these 2 cubbies. This one has leftover math stuff for this year that we are not using. We were told we can throw it away whenever we get the new math stuff. So that's one of those things that I'm probably going to stick under my desk for now, and then I'll toss it whenever we get our new ones. I don't know why we have to keep it. It's literally only enough for like 2 kids, but either way. And then those are extra handwriting books. I think we're still using that this year, so I'll find somewhere to store those until, you know, it's time to get new ones. But other than that, this thing is cleaned out. I do need to pick this stuff up out of the floor, but I'm just out of room on the table, so it's gonna stay right there for now. Same thing with that. Those little balls and stuff, I'm just gonna move and tuck them away right here. I need to pick my umbrella up and move it behind my desk. But for the most part, I've picked everything up. So I kind of see what all we're working with. I need to finish getting this cleared off, and once I do that, then I know I am pretty close to being done, because that means everything will be hung, everything will have a home, all of the good stuff. Oh, and I also left all of these empty binders. They are the ones that are completely empty, or they're either completely empty, like this whole stack is completely empty. That little stack is empty of papers. It just has like sheet protectors that are empty, or dividers. So they're pretty much empty, the same. But I left those right there until I decide what it is that I'm going to do with all of those binders, because I don't really think I need all of them. I may end up seeing if my coworker wants some of them. But yeah, for now I'm gonna leave them there. So I think next step is going to be to take that green little box thing down to the workroom, and then when I come back, I think I'm going to disinfect this whole countertop, because as you can see, it's pretty like dusty and dirty from where we were moving the ceiling tiles this morning. So I think I'm going to try and clean this off, and then I may try to, I don't think I'm going to start hanging my sound wall, but I might try to start laying it out on this counter, and then yeah, we can go from there. But first things first, I'm gonna run this down to the workroom, which you guys are not gonna see, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I ended up, like you saw, moving that on there, and then I cleaned this spot, and there was a basket up here. It was an empty basket in one of those like empty white baskets, and then in it was this little thing that has our, like, this is where I kept the markers and erasers for the kids to just grab. So one, I need to go through there and probably throw those markers away, because after a year I'm sure they're done, since they were actually used. But I opened this cabinet so that I could easily reach above it, and then I forgot I had all these books in here. So it shouldn't be too hard. These are the books that I use as like my own read alouds for the kids, so the kids don't actually get to touch these. Sometimes I'll let them look through them afterwards, like just right afterwards, but they're not books that they are checking out of my personal library and keeping in their book boxes. These are books that I read to them. So I'm gonna try to quickly go through these. I had them organized for most of the school year by like section, so like I had all of my like Halloween books together, you know, so on and so forth. But obviously some of them have not been where they need to be, so I'm probably going to take them all out, reorganize them, and I'm not sure, I might put them back in this cabinet, or I might put them down there in that cabinet. I don't really know, we'll see. But I'm gonna start by at least taking them out and laying them out on the back counter and organizing them by like what month they fall in. guys, I'm over at my door. I'm going to give you a quick pan of the room and show you what we have done. All of this is cleared off. Under there's cleared off except for those little bags, or that little bag of balls to take outside. I moved these two pieces right here just to kind of see how they looked and to try to get them out of the middle of the floor, just to kind of give them a home for now. Don't know for sure if they're going to stay there, nor will like the clipboards and stuff. I don't know, but they're there for now. So that is there. Table's gotten a little bit more empty. You guys just saw me put some more stuff in my desk pet thing, so I just stuck that back there to see how it would look. It looks real tiny. I feel like I need to put something else with it, so we'll think on that though. Obviously I've set this up. Back there is my fridge. I put the mirror there because I think I'm going to try to hang it between these two cabinets, but I don't have anything to hang it with, so I just set it there. I took some things off of my to-do list that I had finished. We set up this area. I threw that pillow over there. Obviously it'll sit up, but I don't know if it's going to stay there or if I might put it like in the library area to lean against. I don't know, but I put it there for now. I need to remember to move that stuff out of the window. But there's the library, and yeah, that's what we've done so far. So I feel like I've made pretty good progress in 2 days. Let me flip you guys around. All right, like I was saying, I feel like I've made good progress in 4 days, not 2 days. 2 days was last week. Today's day 4. But yeah, I feel like I've made pretty good progress. Honestly, I'm at the point now where I feel like if I had to start school tomorrow, I could shove all this under the counter and be good to go. And then, you know, start prepping stuff for actual like class for kids to come. But either way, I feel pretty good. I don't know if I'll be back up here this week. The school is open tomorrow, July 2nd on a Wednesday, but I have both my boys tomorrow. They're not going to daycare. And then the school is closed Thursday and Friday for the 4th. So I don't know if I'll come back up here tomorrow with them. If I do, I probably won't film anything. If I end up coming, if I end up coming, I won't film because I probably won't be doing much because I will have the boys with me, like I said. So I don't know, but either way, I will be back next week for sure. I'm gonna try to get this video up for you guys either tomorrow or Thursday, and then you can expect another video next week. Hopefully next week we'll kind of round out classroom setup, and then I can either take a couple weeks off of coming up here and just be able to like rot on the couch those days, or I might start prepping stuff for the beginning of the school year. I don't know, but hopefully I can at least kind of get the room figured out and all of that good jazz. So hope you guys enjoyed watching it though. If you've made it this far, you're a trooper, because this is going to be another long one. I feel like maybe not quite as long as my first one, but I definitely feel like this is going to be a long one as well. If you have any questions, comments, anything, definitely leave them down below. I loved getting to hear from you guys last time. I got so giddy every time I got a little comment notification, so definitely leave me one of those below. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'm gonna quit yabbering, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye guys.